Hi everyone, it's Sunday, March 15th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. Well, you don't need me to tell you that the only topic of conversation this week was the coronavirus pandemic. It's such a fluid situation that anything I say about it in general will likely change in the next 24 hours. That said, business went on and we do have prices and some news to discuss. Starting with Europe, editor Andrea Guola was in lockdown in Italy with everyone else. He tells us that during the past week, the price of English 36 plus ox was confirmed, selling at 85 to 87 pence per kilo. And in Ireland, the price was stable at 90 to 95 cents in euros. Andrea points out that purchasing was not the focus anywhere in Europe this week, and instead everyone was pretty much looking to fulfill orders and get them delivered to customers. This was even the case in Italy, where tanners, kind of unbelievably, were busier than usual because they were trying to get ahead of the game in case the government decides to close all the factories. Also, several news reports noted that the Santa Croce purification plant is going to remain open during this period, as well as in August, when tanneries typically close down, which sounds like it might not be the case this year. Otherwise, cow buyers had a wait-and-see attitude for the week, so prices were stable. European bulls were also stable, but the race was on to get material to automotive customers who want to be well stocked for the near term. Southern German origins were still selling at €1.40 per kilo. And with regard to veal skins, as you can imagine, orders for leather goods are at a standstill right now. In his analysis, Andrea gives us a detailed look at what's going on specifically in Italy and especially in the tanneries. Turning to the U.S., prices were once again lower this past week as producers still had to keep material moving. That said, we still have prices varying widely on any one selection. Most sources say that the previous week's situation was amplified, and by this we're talking about the fact that the price level depends on the individual buyer, the volume involved, and the terms of the sale. So, of course, rumors also continue to swirl about sales below reported trading levels, but that's always the case when the market becomes challenging, like it is. For regular weight heavy Texas steers, trading was reported at $19 for 68 pounds, which is pretty close to the previous week. We have to say that there were also higher prices reported of up to $24, but those were met with a fair amount of skepticism. U.S. slaughter for the week was down by 3% at an estimated 630,000. With regard to exports, total raw and wet blue hides sold was just 456,000, and that's essentially the same as the previous week. Shipments were 503,300, which is up 10% from the previous week. In our observations, we take a look at panic versus prudence in the current pandemic situation, as well as in the hide market. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports from Brazil that the price of raw material was unchanged this week, and the market was also generally unchanged because of the pandemic. Fresh hides are stable at 81 cents in reals per kilo, and in dollars they're 17 US cents. TR1 prices were again stable at 65 US cents per square foot. In other news from Brazil, February's exports of hides and skins were down by 11.6% in value compared to the same month last year, but they were up by 20% compared to January. In square meters, the total shipped in February was 2.1% less than the same month of 2019, but it was actually 10% more than in January, so that's a bit of a bright spot. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's beef exports are down by a third because of the virus. Mexico's footwear makers want to be bigger exporters to some countries, and Marfrig is said to be purchasing a frigorifico in Paraguay. So that's all the news we have for this week, and until next week, good night from HideNet.